challenge on yourself, right? The world throws tons of things at us. And life. I'm asking you to challenge yourself for the next 90 days. Real simple, okay? The biggest obstacle of any diet is not the diet. It's what? It's the discipline, right? It's making the right choices. Unfortunately, we've become very habitual. Means we have habits, right? Good or bad, we have habits. And in the morning, sometimes we don't eat, or sometimes we make the wrong choice, or when we're starving and we didn't eat on time, we tend to go off the handle. I know I binge eat sometimes, right? Like yesterday, I didn't eat all day. I went home and I had 4 empanadas, and then I wanted cookies, and right? Because I was so hungry that I just had to consume, right? What happens when I consume all that food at one time? What happens? Does anybody really know what happens when you consume too much food at once? Your body can't digest it. Yeah, you go into itis, but the itis comes from sugar levels. And what happens when your sugar spikes, you get that burst of energy. But what happens is your body is so smart that it releases insulin. It produces insulin to combat the sugar. Now what the insulin does is it opens up your cells. It closes your cells so it can't consume. And it goes into your bloodstream. And that's when you become lethargic and tired. Right? So insulin spikes, blood sugar levels come down, and you become lethargic and tired, and you get the itis, as you call it, right? But here's the thing, and our bodies are amazing in the sense that we have built-in measurements. So if I held my arms out to the side, what is that the size of? Anybody know? That's how tall I am. Yeah. If I held my fist up, what's that the size of?
Heart.
My heart. Okay? Now if I took my hands, right, my 2 palms, and I put them together, what's that the size of? Your stomach, right? So you'll hear like an overweight person or someone who is big, when they want to lose weight, they go and have this surgery called a gastric band. You ever hear that? And what that gastric band does is it decreases the size, it forces you to have a smaller stomach. So when you eat, what happens? You get full fast. And when you're full, you stop eating. The problem with eating is our mind takes 30 minutes to catch up to our stomach. So if you sat down and you had a long meal, you ever notice that you want dessert when you start your meal, but by the time dessert time comes, you're like, man, I'm full. It's because that time, your mind just caught up with your stomach. So these built-in measurements, we have to start to leverage and utilize. And this simple way of life that I'm going to describe to you in this sheet of paper is going to help you do that. Simple mathematics. It's called thermodynamics, right? It's a consumption of calories versus what you burn. It's a simple mathematical equation. If you consume more calories than you burn, what will happen? You gain weight. If you burn more calories than you consume, you what? Simple. Portion control, guys. It's right here in the palm of your hands. If it fits in your palm, 2 palms, that's what you should be consuming at a meal. Now you should be eating 5 to 6 times a day. Now you might say, that's difficult. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Right? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You have to start meal prepping. You have to start setting up your day. You know, I do a live every single night that's titled, Plan Today for Tomorrow. These are some of the things that you have to do. So I'm going to run through the list real quick, right? You must come to the realization that you only have one body in this lifetime. You have 2 choices. You can make it beautiful and long-lasting, or you can destroy it. Decide what you want to do. The following guidelines will serve as a catalyst of your success to your weight loss. Now, I'm not doing this because I think anyone here is healthy. Because I'm doing it. And I expect Usman to do it, right? Where's Usman? Skinniest guy. Look, I didn't even see him, right? So, if you use that simple mathematical equation, right? I consume more calories than I burn, I'm going to start to bulk up a little bit, right? Now you throw exercise into the mix, and you start to build muscle. and you start to feel amazing. Malik, how do you feel since the 3 months that you started working out? It's an amazing feeling. When you exercise, endorphins get released in your head. You start to feel energetic. You start to feel positive. You start to feel positive in your environment. You start to influence that same change in your environment. Those of you who say you don't have time to work out, bullshit, stop fucking lying. Stop lying to yourself. Stop saying you don't have enough time. Stop saying I don't have a gym. Stop saying I don't have equipment. You don't need it. All you need to do is some good old-fashioned push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, dips. That's it. You can get a chair, make sure it doesn't have any wheels on it, right? And prop yourself up this way, and you can do little dips. Picture my legs being extended. Push-ups are simple. Right here. And whatever you can do now, wherever you tap out, just do one more. Sit-ups, crunches, jumping jacks. Spend 30 minutes on yourself. 30 minutes. Just doing that. Do 3 sets of each. In 1 week, you're going to start to feel amazing. You're going to feel a little hungry in the beginning, but you're going to start to feel amazing. It's going to change your whole freaking life. Now, I'm asking you to do it for 90 days, but I just want you to start for maybe 1 week. And then after a week, you tell me how you feel and if you want to continue. So, the law of thermodynamics is the consumption of calories, energy, than you burn, you will gain weight. Conversely, if you burn more calories than you ingest, you will lose weight. Number 2, eliminate carbohydrates at least 3 hours before you go to bed. Number 3, don't starve yourself or skip a meal in order to lose weight. What happens when you starve yourself or you skip a meal? The next time you eat, correct, Sharika, the next time you eat, your body stores extra calories because it feels that maybe I'm going to go without another meal again. So you're storing fat. When I hear people say, I only eat once a day, I'm like, holy crap, that's why you got a beer belly, right? It's just storing it there. This is where it all sits, right here. Your body is so intelligent that it automatically does things. Eat 5 to 6 small balanced meals, equal portions of protein and carbohydrates. Spread 3 hours apart throughout the day. So there's a 40-40-20 rule, right? 40% protein, 40% carbohydrates, and 20% fat. Now, if I had, let's say, I'm going to give you an example. If I had brown rice or rice and beans with a piece of chicken, grilled chicken, that would be perfect, right? But just make sure that the portion is right here. That's your meal. That's it. So this is your roadmap. Number 4, watch out for labels. Just because something claims to be non-fat doesn't mean it's okay. Usually non-fat means high calories and sugar. Got that? Fat-free, it's loaded with something else. Sugar-free, it's loaded with something else. So sugar has probably 200 different names. You know that? Glucose, fructose, what?
Corn syrup.
Corn syrup, sugar, honey, brown sugar, white sugar, my sugar, your sugar, right? Sugar daddy. Anything that sounds like something you can't pronounce is what? Sugar. Okay? Anything that you can't pronounce on your label is sugar. So it might be sugar-free, but it's loaded with high fructose corn syrup. So the food industry thinks you're idiots. Okay? Food industry thinks you're idiots. Sugar-free, fat-free. They gotta get the taste in there somehow. You know what they're doing? They're manipulating you. Okay, so watch out for labels. Number 5, it's not only what you eat, it's how you eat. Rule of thumb, each protein and carbohydrate portion should be no more than the size of your palm. Why? 2 palms together are what? My stomach, right? The following is a list of foods that should be eaten. Each meal will contain 1 protein and 1 complex carbohydrate serving and a small amount of fat, which will come from your protein. So any piece of meat will have fat in it. Fish has a certain amount of fat. So flip. These are a list of things you can eat. Egg whites, 3 to 6. Chicken, white meat, skinless, boneless, 6 to 8 ounces. Turkey, white meat, skinless, boneless, 6 to 8 ounces. All fish, tofu, legumes, lean red meat, tuna, 1 can, and 1 tablespoon of low-fat mayo. They don't have to get that crazy. Just be light. Cottage cheese, 1 cup. A complex carbohydrate is oatmeal, brown rice, yams, sweet potatoes, whole wheat bread, rye bread, white rice, salad, baked potato. A simple carbohydrate is fruit, 1 piece per day. Granola, low-fat yogurt. Beverages. The beverage of choice should only be water. Should be water and black coffee. If you have to alter that a little bit, do what you got to do, right? But 1 cup per day, non-fat milk, and it says sugar substitute, which I disagree. I would use no sugar, and if you're going to use anything, use brown sugar or tea. Condiments, mustard, ketchup, balsamic vinegar, no oil for salads and cooking. Sugar substitute, lemon and lime, pepper. Now, this is, I cover this, right? Like, if you don't know what you want in life, you don't know what you want to do, eliminate what you don't want to be, who you don't want to be like, right? Who you are not. So, what to avoid? I would just say anything white. White bread, white rice, right? Anything white. So, white bread, actually they describe it as being the devil. Bagels, cheese, butter, fried food, oil, mayonnaise, soda, fruit juice, donuts, muffins, pasta, sugar, salt. All of these things, all sugar, salt, fat, oil, butter, mayo, all of these things are horrible for you.
Troy's screwed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's screwed. But he's an example of, he's thin, right? But we don't know what's going on in his arteries. You know what I mean? Like, you could be the skinniest, the fittest person in the world, right? You got marathon runners dropping dead of a heart attack. Do you know why a marathon runner would drop dead of a heart attack? What? I don't know. I'm saying, like, how to really work, not to be at a steady, it's like a flat line. I'm a runner. But they drop dead. So what to avoid? And dining out. Most of us eat out every day. In the real world, it's usually difficult to prepare food and carry it with us all day long. Here are a short list of fast foods that is acceptable to your new plans. So, acceptable breakfast. Egg whites on rye with ketchup and a banana. Oatmeal 1 cup with 3 to 6 egg whites. A meal replacement shake or bar that offers a 40-40-20 balance between protein, carbohydrate, and fat. Lunch and dinner turkey sandwich on rye or wheat with mustard, lettuce, and tomato. McDonald's salad with low-fat dressing. Wendy's chicken sandwich with a dry baked potato. Chinese steamed chicken and broccoli with rice and garlic sauce on the side just to dip lightly, not that whole pour over. You know the biggest thing, like you see people, I'm going to eat a salad because it's healthy. And what does that person with that salad usually do? They drown it in dressing. Drown it in dressing, right? Like, you just took something that was so healthy and you just made it like that cheeseburger. Watch those things. For lunch or dinner, turkey sandwich, I'm with the McDonald's, Wendy's chicken sandwich, steamed chicken and broccoli, cottage cheese with grapes, 6 to 8 ounces of filet mignon, and 1 cup of rice. Once again, portion control. remember, you will most likely be much hungrier than usual for the first 5 to 7 days. Why? Because you're going to begin to shrink your stomach. Right now, your stomachs are not this big. They're not this big. Right now, your stomachs are probably like whatever you see there, right? It's going to shrink. And then you're going to want less food. Where's my next page? Here. And so know that this is normal. It is simply your body adjusting to the fewer calories. The hunger will subside, your metabolism will speed up, and your energy level will rise after approximately 1 week. If you're not experiencing weight loss of 1 to 1.5 pounds per week after the initial week, you may need to reduce the size of your portions and or your weekly training. Does everybody accept this? You don't have to. Again, if you accept it, I want to put together a little group where we help hold each other accountable. So I'm not just giving this to you and saying, all right, good, you're on your way. I'm giving this to you to tell you that I gave you the potential goal, and the goal is to be fit and healthy. I'm giving you the roadmap, the plan, right? Now what is left is if you guys want to execute on this. And you just have to repeat it for as long as 90 days. I mean, you'll wind up looking at labels when you go to the store. You know what? Let me see this. Instead of the white bread, let me get the wheat bread. Instead of the wheat bread, let me get the Ezekiel bread. You know what I mean? Just things start to change. You'll start to notice things like, oh my God, I mean, I remember when I used to sit down and for lunch have a chicken cutlet parmesan with ziti and a drink, and it was so delicious, and an hour later I wanted to sleep. You'll look back at those things. You did something similar. Steve, you're doing it now again, aren't you? You're doing your meal plan again?
Yeah.
Why? Because you want to lose weight. You did really good, and then you fell off the wagon. And that happens, and that's just life. You know, we give ourselves these excuses like, all right, during the holidays, I'm not going to focus on it because I'm going to eat. Like, it doesn't have to be that. You can eat. I didn't tell you had to eat, breadsticks and water all day, right? These are all good things you can do. Just eliminate certain things. And again, no matter where you are, if you're the thinnest person in the room, there's something to get out of this, right? Maybe that person wants to bulk up. A few push-ups, a few sit-ups, a few dips, a few jumping jacks. Give yourself 20 to 30 minutes a day. And you're going to start to feel amazing. You're going to have more energy. You're going to start waking up earlier. You're going to start going to bed a little bit later. You're going to start being more effective. You're going to have so much clarity in your head. You know, our problem with our society is our kids, go to school and then they get labeled as having ADD, and then they have to get Ritalin and all these freaking, right, medicines to keep them down. But the truth is, I failed to realize that I gave my kid Frosted Flakes for breakfast with a cup of orange juice, right? And I'm wondering why he's jumping off the wall. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, the kid can't pay attention in class because he's freaking high on sugar, right? We don't realize these things. And we're a product of that. So we got to change it here. So if you're with me, I need to know because I want to stay on top of us to help you reach that goal. If you're not, hey, look, it's not for everybody, right? Sometimes we have the perfect life. Sometimes we're good where we are. But if you're not, make it a goal. Here's your plan. And just walk the walk. Okay?
Yes.
Anything you guys like to cover? Anything you want to say about this? Rika? Anthony? Girlfriend? Come on. Say goodbye to what? Malik? You David or Victor?
Oh my God.
Imran? Usman?
How to gain mass.
How to gain mass. You got to eat a lot and work out.
He does eat a lot.
No. He eats a lot. What do you eat? How often do you eat a day?
Almost 4 to 5 times.
What do you eat? What's breakfast?
Croissant with egg and cheese.
Croissant with egg and cheese. Okay. What else?
And then I'll have a snack probably around like 11, 12, and then lunch at.
Do you exercise at all?
No. I need to start on that.
Maybe you have a tapeworm.
Parasites,
you and Troy. You and Troy. No. You gotta exercise and you gotta consume more calories. There's no such thing as you can't gain weight. You gotta eat more.
You see the list that says what to avoid? Just don't
Yeah,
avoid those.
double up on that stuff. No, they're gonna have other issues. Ricardo?
I just want the processor to be a little more smooth.
Me too.
It's burdening me.
Me
It's
too.
kind of demotivating. So that's just me.
Me too.
Because right now, last month I was here and now I'm just feeling all because of everything that's happening. So that's just it.
Yeah.
Just how things go.
Jazzy.
Same thing.
Here we go. Same thing.
Okay.
All right, do me a favor, Ricardo. Say, I want to live a healthy and fit life. Go ahead, say that.
I'm going to live a healthy.
No, you're not.
All right, go ahead, Jasmine. Go. Go. Same thing. All right, same thing.
No, but no. I spoke to you guys yesterday. About
Yeah.
this.
We all look. We can't ignore it, right? We can't just forget it, right? Because it bothers all of us. Trust me. Phil almost didn't come to work yesterday. Okay? Just to put it in perspective. Me, I came to work only because I wanted to see Phil and Troy. But Troy wasn't here. Richard.
I'm good.
You good? Are you in?
Fine.
You in? Steve, anything? Are you in? Philly?
Phone calls.
Yes. So a round of applause for you guys who have really stepped up on your phone calls. I know. You know my camera's right there, right? Just say hello. Say hello.
We gotta start all over.
Let's start the whole meeting over. So the phone calls have doubled or tripled, right? And you know, Phil is kind of touching base with you guys and sitting down for a few. And look, if you double your phone calls, you're gonna double your appointments. You're gonna double your sales. Reviews, you guys have slacked off, right? And testimonials. And I think I know what's in your head, right? What's in your head is, I constantly gotta chase my money, and I gotta da-da-da-da. So why should I do this, right? I don't agree with anyone chasing their money at all. Did I send an email about that, Troy and Phil, right? You guys know what I said in my email. You know what was said in return, right? So I'm always fighting for you guys, whether you see it or not. But I didn't get paid another dollar for my review. Isn't that important to us? Before I go to a restaurant, before I go to a hotel, before I go buy anything, before I buy anything on Amazon, I check to see what people are saying first. If people are saying the place is shit, then I am not coming here. If the people are saying the place is great, I dealt with this person, I'm going to want to deal with this person. So the attitude of no tiki, no laundry only hurts you in the long run. I'll be more than happy to walk upstairs with what you're missing for your reviews and get you a check. But don't say, fuck you, Chris, I'm not doing it because I'm not getting paid. No. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. But by not doing it and the fact that they've slowed down, that's what I hear. Right? Because that's the attitude. And attitude is number one. Your attitude is everything. Right? You could strip me of everything. I'm going to have that same attitude. All right? I'm going to have the same attitude. I'm not going to stand here like this, right? I'm going to have the same attitude, right? Because you stripped me. You did this. But I'm still here. Have the right attitude. And get back to reviews.
Anything good?
Get back to the surveys.
I have something to say.
Yeah, go. Come on, say it.
I was going to say, the attitude reflects on the work environment as well. So sometimes the work environment brings down your attitude.
That's true.
Right.
As well.
Right. So you can have a broke mindset, or you could have a rich mindset, right? So if I'm going to allow my environment to dictate my attitude, I'm just as fucked up as my environment. Okay? I'm going to come in here and I'm going to be the influencer of change, the influencer of the right attitude, right? And together, we can all go upstairs and talk about whatever you want to whoever we need to. We could even go into a small office over there and talk to them, right? If you guys have the balls to do that. But don't complain and campaign for votes, because the universe doesn't give a shit about your complaints. And it doesn't care who co-signs them.
Agree.
Right? Because your maker,
Everybody.
right? You being here, there's a goal for you, there's a plan for you. And you're gonna get whatever you deserve.